Hello, my best students. Before we dive in, I want you to comment below. I'm ready to learn about the future. That one line tells me you're serious, you're present, and you're here to grow. Today, we're going to explore a topic that's shaping your life, my life, and the entire world. Artificial intelligence, but not in a boring robotic way. We'll talk about how it's evolving, what it means for our jobs, creativity, emotions, and language learning. And of course, we'll use this as a way to improve your English fluency, sentence structure, and advanced vocabulary. So relax, listen carefully, and let's start this powerful journey together. Part 1. It starts quietly. A phone suggesting a better route to work. A voice assistant reading your messages while you're cooking. A streaming app learning your taste in movies. Most people don't even notice it, but this is AI. It's already here. And it's not knocking on the door of the future. It's living in your pocket. The first thing we need to understand is that AI doesn't look like a robot with glowing eyes. It's software, algorithms, invisible systems that learn from data. They process patterns faster than any human can. And they're trained to make decisions, give recommendations, even write, draw, compose music, and drive cars. The line between machine and mind is beginning to blur. Now, is this amazing? Yes. Is it scary? Sometimes. But above all, it's powerful. And power needs responsibility. Think about how we've always adapted to new tools. From fire to electricity to the internet, each one changed the world. AI is no different. In fact, it's not coming in the future. It's shaping your present. And that means we have to ask better questions. Not just what can AI do, but what should it do, and how do we stay in control? Because here's the thing. AI is only as good as the data it learns from and the people who build it. If we let it grow without asking these deeper questions, we risk letting it make choices for us without our values, without our voice. But if we learn how to use it, really use it with wisdom, with awareness, and with heart, then AI becomes more than a tool. It becomes a partner, one that can help us solve big problems, free up our time, and focus on what truly matters: connection, creativity, and growth. And that's what this episode is about. Not just surviving the AI revolution, but thriving in it. Part 2. If we zoom out and really look at what AI is doing across the world, we start to see a quiet revolution. In hospitals, AI helps doctors detect cancer earlier than ever before. In classrooms, AI-powered apps help students learn at their own pace. In agriculture, farmers use AI to predict weather, monitor crops, and reduce waste. These aren't just tech upgrades, they're life-changing shifts. And for you, for me, for everyday people, AI means a chance to focus more on what we're good at. The deeply human things: creativity, empathy, problem-solving, relationships. AI doesn't have a soul. It doesn't dream. It doesn't laugh because something is genuinely funny. That's us. That's what makes us different. And that's where we still lead. But here's the trap. It's easy to get lazy, to let AI do the thinking for us. Write the emails, finish the assignments, make the decisions. Convenience is seductive. But if we're not careful, we stop thinking for ourselves, and that's dangerous. Imagine a generation that loses its ability to write deeply, to question facts, to speak with clarity, because AI always fills in the blanks. That's why education must evolve. Not to resist AI, but to teach people how to use it wisely, to collaborate with it, not depend on it blindly. We need to build a mindset of co-creation. Instead of asking, will AI replace me? Ask, how can I use AI to become more curious, more productive, more skilled, more human? Because the future will reward those who know how to blend the power of technology with the depth of human values. So when someone says AI is going to take over, I say only if we let it. But if we stay awake, if we stay learning, questioning, growing, then AI becomes fuel, not a threat. This is the time to ask yourself, what can I do better, faster, or smarter with the help of AI? And more importantly, what can only I do that no machine ever will? Part 3, let's talk about the workplace, because that's where most of the fear around AI lives. Headlines scream, AI will take your job. And for many people, that fear feels real. But AI isn't here to destroy work. It's here to transform it. Yes, some jobs will disappear. Repetitive tasks, data entry, simple customer service. These are already being automated, but that's only half the story. Because while AI takes over some roles, it also creates new ones. Roles that didn't even exist 5 years ago. Think about it. 10 years ago, there were no AI ethicists, prompt engineers, or machine learning operations specialists. Today, those jobs are now real and even create new ones. 3. Pause. They're in high demand. The future doesn't belong to those who cling to old skills. It belongs to those who are willing to learn, unlearn, and relearn. If you're listening to this, you've already taken the first step. You're aware. You're curious. That's your superpower. The next step is to keep building your skills, especially the ones machines can't copy. Communication, leadership, creativity, strategic thinking. These are the muscles we need to strengthen. AI can analyze trends and generate content, but it can't feel the culture the way you do. It can understand what truly moves people. That's where you come in with your intuition, your storytelling, your empathy. AI gives you the tools, but it's still your vision that matters. Or maybe you're in healthcare. AI might help scan X-rays or predict disease risk, but only you can hold someone's hand, deliver hard news with compassion, or build trust in the eyes of a patient. AI can assist, but healing is still a human act. Instead of asking, will AI take my job? Ask, how will my job evolve with AI? That shift in mindset can turn fear into strategy, because if you wait for the future to happen to you, you'll always be behind. But if you start shaping your own role in this AI world, you become part of the evolution. The future isn't about competing with machines. It's about becoming more human and using machines to help you do that better. Part 4. Now let's flip the coin and talk about the risks, the real serious concerns that come with AI. Because as much as this technology can empower us, it can also challenge our rights, our freedoms, even our sense of truth. One of the biggest threats? Misinformation. AI can now generate articles, voices, and even faces that seem real but are completely fake. With deepfakes, someone can create a video of a person saying something they never said. With AI written content, entire websites can flood the internet with biased, misleading, or false information, making it harder than ever to know what's true. And this matters because when truth becomes blurry, trust breaks down. In politics, in relationships, in communities, when we don't know what to believe, we stop believing in anything. That's the danger. Not the AI itself, but how it's used. Then there's privacy. Every time you use AI, whether it's a chatbot, a smart assistant, or a translation app, data is being collected. Your searches, your preferences, even the tone of your voice. In the hands of ethical developers, that data can help improve services. But in the wrong hands, it can be used to manipulate, control, or surveil. Governments and companies have a responsibility to protect us, but we as users have a role too. We must learn to ask questions. Who built this tool? What data does it collect? What are its limitations? Blind trust is dangerous, especially with systems that learn and evolve on their own. And let's not forget bias. AI doesn't exist in a vacuum. It learns from human data, and humans are full of biases. If a hiring algorithm is trained on data from a company that mostly hired men in the past, it might continue to prefer men without even realizing it. That's not intelligent. And that starts with education. Not just for engineers, but for everyone. Because AI isn't just a tech issue. It's a human issue. It affects how we live, how we connect, how we think. The future of AI depends not just on innovation, but on ethics, on the questions we ask, on the values we protect, and on the courage we have to say, just because we can do something doesn't mean we should. Part 5. Let's shift from the risks back to something even more important. The human side of AI. Because while we often focus on how smart machines are becoming, we forget to ask, how are we changing in response in this new world where machines can write stories, compose music, give advice, even hold conversations? What does it mean to be human? Where do we find our value when technology can do so much? The answer, I believe, is in our emotional depth, our stories, our curiosity. AI can simulate empathy, but it can't truly feel. It can recognize sadness in your voice, but it doesn't know heartbreak. It can paint a picture, but it doesn't know what it's like to fall in love with the face in the painting. That emotional richness, the way we grieve, hope, forgive, create, that's something no machine can replicate. So instead of fearing that AI will take our place, we should double down on the things that make us irreplaceable. This is where the opportunity lies. AI can handle the mechanical, the repetitive, the analytical. That frees us up to go deeper into what really matters. Imagine having more time to think, to create, to connect. Imagine a teacher who spends less time grading and more time mentoring. A writer who spends less time editing and more time telling raw. You are not a robot. You don't need to work 24/7 to prove your worth. What AI shows us, if we're paying attention, is that being human is not about speed or efficiency. It's about purpose, presence, and heart. If we let AI handle the doing, then maybe we can finally reclaim the being present, being kind, being creative, being ourselves. That's the paradox. The more powerful AI becomes, the more important it is to reconnect with our own humanity. Because no matter how advanced machines get, the future will always need people who care, who imagine, who love. So if you're feeling overwhelmed by all this talk of technology, remember this. You're not being replaced. You're being called to rise, to lead, to show the world what only a human soul can offer. Part 6. Now, let's talk about something many people ignore when they think about AI. Education. Not just in schools, but in everyday life. Because learning is no longer a luxury. It's a survival skill. In a world driven by AI, the old model of education, memorizing facts, taking standardized tests, getting a degree, and calling it done, simply doesn't work anymore. The ground is shifting too fast. The skills that matter today might be outdated in 5 years. So what's the solution? We need to become lifelong learners, flexible, curious, adaptable. That's not just a nice idea. It's a strategy for staying relevant. And the good news is, AI can actually help with that. Think about how personalized learning can be with AI. Imagine a tutor that knows exactly what you struggle with and teaches you in a way that fits your brain. Or language learning apps that adapt to your progress in real time. Or AI that summarizes complex topics so you can learn them in minutes instead of hours. This kind of support can open doors for millions who struggled in traditional systems. But here's the key. AI can't learn for you. It can guide you, coach you, challenge you, but you still have to show up. You still have to put in the time, make the effort, and ask the hard questions. The future of education isn't about replacing teachers with robots. It's about empowering teachers with better tools and empowering students with more freedom. The teacher of the future might be a human with wisdom and heart, supported by an AI assistant that tracks learning gaps and suggests resources. It's not a war between machine and mind. It's a partnership when done right. And this shift in education isn't just for kids, it's for everyone. Adults, workers, parents, entrepreneurs. We all need to keep learning, not because we're falling behind, but because we're growing into something new. If you've ever told yourself, I'm too old to learn AI, or technology isn't my thing, let me say this, you are not too late. You are right on time. What matters most is not what you already know. It's your willingness to keep learning, because in the age of AI, the most valuable skill is the ability to keep learning what matters next. Part 7. Now let's explore something deeper, something that most people feel but rarely talk about. The emotional impact of living in an AI-powered world. Because even if we understand the benefits and risks, even if we stay curious and educated, there's still this quiet question whispering in the back of our minds. Where do I fit in? When machines can answer faster, write better, draw more beautifully, and speak more fluently, it's easy to feel small. It's easy to feel like what we do or who we are doesn't matter as much anymore. But that's exactly why we need to talk about identity and self-worth in the age of AI. Let's be real. We live in a time when productivity often defines our value. How much did you do today? What did you accomplish? But AI is now faster than us at many of the things we used to be proud of. So if we keep tying our worth to output, we'll constantly feel like we're falling behind. The truth is, we have to start redefining success, not as what we produce, but how we connect. Not how fast we work, but how deeply we live. Because the world is not just about efficiency. It's about meaning. And machines don't do meaning. Only people do. That means we need to protect our mental health in this new world. To remember that you are not competing with AI, you're living alongside it. And living requires rest, emotion, joy, struggle, discovery. These are human experiences. They are not bugs in our system. They are the system. And we also need to build stronger communities. AI can connect us across the globe, but it can also isolate us behind screens. We must make a conscious effort to stay human, to talk to each other, listen to each other, care about each other. Because in a world where machines grow smarter, human warmth becomes even more valuable. It's okay to feel overwhelmed. It's okay to be unsure. But don't disappear into your doubts. Step into them. Let them make you more thoughtful, more compassionate, more grounded. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to become a robot to survive in a robotic world. You just need to be real, to stay awake, to keep showing up as a learner, a friend, a creator, a soul. Because no matter how fast AI evolves, the world will always need humans who feel and choose and lead with heart. Part 8. Now, let's go global for a moment, because the future of AI isn't just about individuals. It's about humanity. Entire nations, industries, and cultures are now being reshaped by artificial intelligence. And how we choose to navigate this shift together will define what kind of world we leave behind. Let's start with the obvious. AI is not equally distributed. In wealthy, tech-advanced countries, people have access to powerful tools, smart devices, and constant updates. But in developing nations, access to AI-powered education, healthcare, or even reliable internet is still a challenge. This creates a dangerous gap, not just a digital divide, but a human one. Because here's the hard truth. If AI becomes the engine of progress, then those without access to it will be left behind in ways we've never seen before. This isn't just unfair, it's unsustainable. We can't build a smarter world that forgets half its people. That's why we need ethical leadership in governments, in tech companies, in communities. Leaders who don't just chase innovation for profit, but ask, how does this help people? Who is being lifted? Who is being left out? And this leads to another global question. Who controls AI? The algorithms that shape what you see online, that recommends, that even influence elections. They're not neutral. They're built by humans with agendas inside systems of power. So when we talk about AI, we're also talking about trust, regulation, and responsibility. The future we want doesn't just depend on the technology. It depends on the values we build into it. Will we choose transparency over manipulation, inclusion over exclusion, wisdom over speed? AI has the power to solve massive global problems, from climate change prediction to medical breakthroughs to smarter energy systems. But it will only do that if we guide it there. We can't just hope for a better future. We have to design it. And that's not a job for engineers alone. It's a job for all of us. Teachers, parents, writers, students, dreamers, people who believe that progress is not just about machines doing more, but about humans living better. So as you think about your own future, remember this. You are part of something bigger. Every decision you make to learn, to lead, to question, to create ripples out. And when we all choose to rise with integrity and awareness, we don't just adapt to AI, we elevate humanity. Part 9. At this point, you might be wondering, so what can I actually do? That's the right question, because the future of AI isn't some distant thing that only experts and engineers shape. It's something you interact with, influence, and co-create every single day. Let's start with a mindset shift. You don't need to master all the technical details of AI to have power in this space. You just need to be intentional, curious, awake. You already use AI more than you think in your phone, your apps, your newsfeed, your shopping habits. So the first step is becoming aware. Ask yourself, what is this tool doing for me? What is it learning from me? And how do I feel about that? The next step, start experimenting. Try AI tools. Use them for learning, for writing, for organization. See what they can do and what they can't. You'll begin to see that AI isn't magic. It's smart, but it's also flawed. And the more you play with it, the more confident you become in guiding it. Then make it a habit to ask better questions. Don't just use AI to get quick answers. Use it to think deeper. What are the pros and cons of this decision? What perspectives am I missing? How can I use this tool to grow instead of escape? AI can widen your view, but only if you lead it with strong questions. And perhaps most importantly, don't stop being human. In a world of machines, what sets you apart is your ability to care, to feel, to tell stories that move hearts, to make someone laugh, to stand for what's right, even when it's hard. These are not small things. These are everything. You don't need to fight AI. You need to lead with humanity in an AI world. That means choosing transparency, practicing digital mindfulness, supporting creators and platforms that align with your values, teaching your kids how to think critically, not just how to use tools, voting for policies that protect privacy and promote equity. You have more influence than you think. Every time you use AI with awareness, every time you share knowledge, speak with honesty, or lead with integrity, you are shaping the culture around this technology. The future of AI isn't written yet. It's being written now. And your voice, your choices, your energy, they matter. So here we are at the end of our journey, and maybe at the beginning of something even bigger. We've talked about how AI is reshaping our lives in work, education, health, creativity, and connection. We've explored the powerful possibilities, and we've looked honestly at the risks. But above all, we've asked the most important question: how do we stay human in the middle of all this change? The answer is simple, but not easy. We stay human by staying awake, by using these tools with purpose, not just for comfort, by becoming students again of the world, of each other, of ourselves. We don't need to fear the future. We just need to keep showing up with curiosity, with courage, with care. Because the real story of AI isn't about machines replacing people. It's about people rediscovering what truly matters. And maybe, just maybe, this technology is here not to make us less human, but to remind us of what it means to be fully alive. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are exactly where you need to be, listening, learning, asking the right questions, and that alone makes you part of the solution. So keep going, keep growing, and as you step into this new world, remember this: it's not the smartest tools that shape the future. It's the wisest people who know how to use them. The future of AI isn't just about algorithms. It's about you.